as Yogeshwara. As it is, you know that Vishnu's first incarnation as a human being was Vamana Avatar. And then went till he came as Shri. So the past of Sri Krishna was Sri Ram. And when Sri Rama came on this earth, he went into lots of austerities. To go to jungle, his wife was lost, whom he had to find out. And to establish the benevolent king on this earth, he was made the king of Ayodhya. But all his life, it was a struggle and austerities which he followed. As a result, the people who followed Sri Ram became extremely austere. They used to sleep on the grass because Sri Ram had to sleep on the grass for so many years. They used to wear wooden slippers. They would just wear very little clothes or one dhoti, just like Sri Rama wore when his wife was out. All these austerities they did to show how a householder should be. He never enjoyed any other life as a man, but just lived like an ascetic when his wife was lost. All these things were to establish also a very ideal personality for a man to be attached to his wife. He was a person with Ekapatni Vrata, means one wife. Though she knew she was Mahalakshmi, she was a goddess, but still he was forced to do things because he wanted to show how a benevolent king should be. In the second incarnation of his, when he came as Sri Krishna, then he had to neutralize all these austerities he has put on people. It's just the sun is on my head. I tell you what to do. The sun won't leave. Can you push it somewhere a little bit? This is sun. You know, exactly at this time I had to be here to face the sun. कहाँ रखें?
शिफ्ट कर दे
बहुत
साइड में जी श्री
ये देखो
राइट ऑन सनी बना है पीछे तो आगे
या तो इस तरफ ले
कहाँ है
इस तरफ नहीं
अच्छा
तो कोई दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है Now it's better. Sorry, now I can see you. The sun doesn't want me to see you or what? Just imagine how they are directly. Just move it further. This side. हाँ So Shri Krishna came on this earth. In his childhood, he had to also face lots of problems which he surpassed. And he went and killed his uncle, as you know very well, who was a Rakshasa. After doing all this, then he went to Dwarika, which he built. Now they have found out there is Dwarika. And he became the king of Dwarika. To understand Shri Krishna in Sahaja Yoga is much more subtler than the stories that they tell. Zara says, can you move it? The stories are there, but behind these stories, as being Sahaja Yogis, you have to see the subtle things about his incarnation. So the first one was, he was Leeladhara. Means the one he said, this is all a play. That means you have to become a witness. So he said that your mind should become just a witness. At Virata stage, he becomes Akbar. And at that stage, he is the mind, the brain of the great primordial being. So first he thinks that we have to become witness of the drama. And we should not get lost into the Maya. If you are a witness, you can see the Maya, how it works. So the first subtle nature of Sri Krishna was to create a Leela, to neutralize all the austerities created by the incarnation of Sri Ram. But the second great quality that he had is also to put the Maya on people. So if he is the brain, our brain should become a Sakshi, should become a witness the play. It should not take anything as something extremely serious. When you look at things as Sakshi Swarupa, as something that you are watching a drama, you may for the time being feel that you are Napoleon or you are the one who is acting. But after some time the play is over, you know it's a play. So to reach that state, you have to become thoughtlessly aware. Because we think from our brain. And this brain goes on thinking, creating a Maya and playing into Maya. Now, here it is, when you are a realized soul, you should see through the Maya. Everything that I am doing, what you are doing, should be understood very well if you are really the reflection of Sri Krishna's brain. So in your brain, there should be no worry. There should be no stress. There should be no problem. Because you are just watching everything in thoughtless awareness. So when you are thoughtless awareness, means when your brain is just in the state of witness, you understand everything that is divine. I'll give an example just now happened. I got into the car and they didn't know where to go. We went on to wrong road. Then I told him, go this way. So he was wondering how mother knows. I said, vibrations. Through vibrations, I could feel they are all there, sitting there. We came round. Unless and until you are thoughtlessly aware, you cannot grow, that is first thing. And secondly, unless and until you are thoughtlessly aware, you do not know the absolute truth. Through your brain only you will know. You don't have to put your hands, you don't have to ask questions, but it's like a computer that works. It just gives you an answer. In that state, you are completely one with the divine, and it just gives you an answer, and you do that, and you are amazed how it has worked out. Everything, every moment is computerized with Shri Krishna. But at the same time, he tests you. He plays his Leela on you. That one must know, because he is a diplomat. How he has played Leela on you is very interesting to see. His style of Leela. Like he told Arjuna, that I will not fight. Arjuna said, all right, what will you do? I'll be your charioteer. I'll drive your chariot. Now, it would look funny to anybody, what is this, such a great man who calls me as his guru? He says that he is the one who, he says I'm the best of his disciples, everything, and here he just offers his services like a charioteer. In this, he is just trying a trick on Arjuna. As if he knows the future that's going to happen. So the whole Gita was created because he was just a charioteer. Because Arjuna said, I cannot fight my own people. I cannot fight my own grandparents, and I cannot fight my relations. Now, if you say that Gita is for peace, it is not. It is not for peace. What he says that they are already dead, whom are you killing? These dead people, if you are killing them, what will happen? But if you now run away from the battlefield, people will call you a coward. And what will you get? But if you fight for the religion, then you will get your resurrection, moksha. It's a big trick in all these things. Same was said by Muhammad Sahab, and same the Christians did. Same about the Hindus. That they all feel they are fighting for dharma. In Arjuna's case, it was a clear-cut case. That somebody was a Rakshasa and horrible people, they were adharmis, so he was fighting them, it was all right. But what about other people when they say that we are going to die for religion? I met a Bosnia Muslim who had just somehow escaped, and I asked him, why do you want to fight? Why do you want to fight for land when you believe in the formless God. He says, written in Quran that if you fight for religion, then you will get your moksha. Exactly the same Shri Krishna has said. But where is the mistake? The mistake is, what is the dharma? Are you dharmic? Are you in standing in dharma? Then this fight was in those days were with weapons. So why did Shri Krishna not take a weapon in his hand? This is the second thing. Firstly, nobody has dharma. They are all adharmis. They may call themselves Hindu, Muslim, Christians, and all adharmis. They don't follow the religion. And secondly, they are killing each other only. One adharmi killing another adharmi, or maybe in between themselves they are fighting. Everybody is thinking, I am right and whatever I am doing is the right thing. So the first condition is put that for dharma you have to fight. So first one should find out, are we fighting for dharma? But he was even subtler. He didn't take any weapons in his hands, nothing. He was just holding the reins of the chariot. Because Shri Krishna is the mind, is the Virat, is the great mind. He doesn't need any weapons or such. But what he did at that time, he used his mind for a very, very profound knowledge. To explain Arjuna, imagine in the war field, he didn't make him sit down, all right, you are my Shisha, you sit here, I am your Guru, I'll tell you nothing. In the battlefield, you see, when everybody was there to fight and they were about to start the war, he starts telling very patiently to Arjuna at that time. Now what is he doing there? He is not using any weapons, nothing. He is doing counseling. Counseling to Arjuna, telling him, now see his subtle brain. He introduces in the first chapter only that you have to go higher than what you are. And then he gives him the definition of a person who is an enlightened person, which is a sthita prajna. I mean, normally a businessman will start from $1, then $100. You see, the other way around. But he told him, first thing, that you have to become a sthita prajna, otherwise it's no use. Unless and until you become sthita prajna, you cannot have dharma. This is the point. To understand Shri Krishna, you have to really have a very subtle brain, otherwise you cannot understand. So he tells that you should give up this kind of a moroseness that is developed in you, kaivalya we call it. And what you have to do, now take up the weapon in your hand and fight. So then he asked him about other things. What about that? You are here telling me that you should become nishkriya. That means no work. Your karmas become akarmas. You are talking like this, and why do you want me to kill these people? That is a karma. Now, how, you see, slowly he moves from one point that you should fight for dharma. Now, it's a very subtle thing. Are you in dharma or not? First of all, find out. You are not. So, what dharma are you fighting first? Then the second thing is karma. Again, see, he's a brainy fellow, the brains of God, extremely tricky. The second trick he plays on him, saying that you are working, all right? But if you are a Sthitaprajna, then you leave all the work at the lotus feet of God or Him. Sarva dharmanam parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Give up all dharmas and follow me. Now what is his dharma? The problem is that people don't understand him. It's all concentrated on Shri Krishna and his own manifestation. This sun is again. All right. He says that do your karmas, but you put them at the lotus feet of the Lord. Is not possible unless until you are Sthitaprajna, unless and until you are enlightened. Now when you are enlightened, when you have got your realization, when you raise your kundalini or anybody's kundalini, you don't say, Mother, I am giving realization. You don't say. Never. What you say, it is happening. In third person you talk. It's not coming, it's not working out, it's just moving on the side, this chakra is catching, that chakra is catching. You never say, I am doing anything. The I is lost. When that I is lost, then only you will put everything at the lotus feet of God. So first it should be done in dharma. Supposing somebody murders somebody and say, oh, I have done it now, so it is my karmas, I put it at the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. Well, people have special brains also to interpret Shri Krishna and Gita. But what he said, for dharma you should do it. So first of all, you should be a Sthitaprajna, means an enlightened person. And whatever you do, automatically goes at the lotus feet of God. Automatically. Spontaneously, sahaj. Now the third thing he did. What about bhakti? People said, what? We are doing bhakti to God, this, that, and what is the reward for this? There again he plays tricks. On one word he has made everybody dance, He says, you do bhakti, but it should be ananya. This is the word, ananya. When there is not the other. Means when you have become one with me. Means you are a Sthitaprajna. Means you are a realized soul. Just imagine, on this word, if people pay attention, they will give up all this nonsense of bhakti and will first get their connection when they become ananya and then do the bhakti. Because Sri Krishna knew human beings very well. I think he knew them better than Christ. Definitely. Because Christ was straightforward. He said, take out your right eye, throw it away. Take out your left eye, throw it away. Cut your hands, throw it away. Same with Muhammad Sahib. Who will do that? So Sri Krishna was very clever. He said, straightforward they will not understand. So give them in such a way that they will go on doing and doing. We are doing so much bhakti, so many people come and tell me. Even these Hare Ramas, they are developing now throat cancers. So they are saying, Mother, why it is throat cancer to us? We are saying the name of Sri Krishna. Because you are not connected. Now supposing I even want to meet the president of this country. I'll have to go through such a protocol, I may not even meet. But this one is the God of gods. He is the president of all the presidents. If you have to take his name, if you go and take name of Clinton and go and say, hey, Clinton, 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 They'll all arrest me. So if you go on saying Rama, 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 Allah, 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 Akbar, 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 you will be arrested. You have no connection. So that Virata Shakti which we call, which is of course in Quran described as Akbar, this power also plays tricks. As a mother, I have to warn you that nothing will work out unless until you are a realized soul. Nothing will work out. Now for realization, he has said you have to become. But he didn't say at that time how you will become, what will work it out. Because you see, sort of, if you go to college, all the knowledge is not given in first year. Something is given, then something in second year, then in third year. Now in the seventh year, now Sahaja Yoga has come to tell you everything, total. He is totality, but he doesn't give total knowledge. The whole knowledge of Gita is nothing but trick that he has played with human beings who were stupid and would never have understood him if he had told them about Sahaja Yoga. Even today I meet many like that, of course. But so many he could not have got at that time. So they didn't talk about Kundalini this much, so far, and that's all. Same with other people. The kind of disciples they had, the kind of people they had, they could not tell them everything about their ascent because they were not ready. They were not of that level. Their brains were not that developed. Now in this Kali Yuga, when I am starting this work, I find the brains are overdeveloped, over. And so much so that overdeveloped brains become stupid, naturally. Overuse of anything makes you stupid. And they become absolutely stupid. Now, how can you tell them such a subtle knowledge who are stupid people? What is the way? If I had talked like Shri Krishna, it would have been just a waste of my energy and your energy. Half of you would have gone off to sleep. So I said, first of all, let me connect them to divinity. If I could connect them to divinity, little bit even, little bit, then they will understand, because that will enlighten their brain a little bit. And they will know that there's something more than what we know. And that's how it is going to work out. So the subtle system of trickery of Sri Krishna has helped a lot, no doubt, that people are realizing that there's something missing in it. Even of Islam. Islam means surrender. But surrender to whom? To mullahs or to whom? The problem started when hierarchy started like that. There are mullahs and there are this. So the surrender part became surrender to the stupid mullahs. I have seen most of them are absolutely stupid. And they take a cane in their hand in Riyadh, I have seen. They beat, even women they beat. You are supposed to do puja 5 times. And if you don't do them pujas 5 times, they call it silla. Then they beat women. Every shop must be closed 5 times. I tell you, they are such hypocritical people naturally. Because if you are asked to do 5 times meditation, say, you will never do it, but you will just do it out of fear. Out of fear, if you do something, what's the use? Now, whatever Muhammad Sahib has said, or Christ has said, it is only for angels, I can tell you, not for normal people. And where are the angels? Very few. There are. Those are born realized people who have come on this earth are angels. And they are told not to do something, they will not do. Most of them know what is right and wrong. Where are those angels? Very few people. And those who are angels are treated just like you can call it like mad people or lunatic people. Nobody believes them. One here and one there and one in some other place. So this, what they preached, was for the angels. Only the angels could understand. But Shri Krishna thought that these other people who are there were not angels. Why not trick them? Many people come and tell me, we take the name of Krishna every day like this, and we haven't received anything. But first he said you have to be sthita pragya. Sthita pragya. Sthita means established. Pragya means enlightened. You should be enlightened personality, absolutely established. First thing, first he said, in the second chapter. First thing he says. After that he says all these things. And that's why many people have misunderstood Gita. But his idea was, in one life they'll misunderstand. Second life they'll misunderstand. Third life they will start thinking, okay, after all, what is this? First he has said you become a sthita pragya, we have not become the sthita pragya. So, what's wrong with us? So some introspection will start. That was his idea I should say. But I've seen people, they can give lectures on Gita hours together, but their brains are closed completely. Now to say that he didn't say anything about Kundalini is there. That's why Gyaneshwara in the 12th century took permission from his brother, who was his guru, that allow me at least to say about Kundalini. And that is how it was exposed a little bit. Of course, before that also, we have had people like Adi Shankaracharya, the 6th century, and before that also Markandeya. But they talked about the Kundalini. That's all. Praised the Kundalini. But that she passes through 6 centers, how will it raise and all that. And not about the future, that this will happen one day. So many have written, of course. But I would say that precisely the one who has written complete description of Sajogis given is by Gyaneshwara in the poetry called Pasaida, in which he has exactly said what will happen, how many people will get realization. And he said that you, the people, who are the forests of the trees, boon-giving trees, kalpataru, boon-giving trees, you rise and give it to others. Then he says that you are the oceans who are giving ambrosia talks. He has described you in such a beautiful manner that you should read the translation of Pasaida, and then you will know what you are, how you have been praised by him. And he said that you will lose other relationships, and the only relationship will be these. They will be your real relations. To say all these things, to have such a vision, he must be a great incarnation himself. So, this is how in Gyaneshwari, which is a commentary on Gita. He has put in the 6th chapter. Now, it's a commentary of Gita, but on the 6th chapter he said how you can get your realization about Kundalini, how it will work out. So gradually it was all unfolded. And gradually people also developed their spiritual strength to understand. Supposing I had started Sahaja Yoga even 100 years back, I would not have even one single disciple, one single Sahaja Yogi. The reason was the people were all right, they were on value system all right, their life was very much satisfying, they were very peaceful, they were just interested in some horses or something like that. But now, you find people are so much disturbed, so much in trouble, so much in chaos. This in Kali Yuga is the height of Kali Yuga now. So much of immorality, so much of dissatisfaction in life that they have to now think where to go. Like a shock, the future is waiting for them, and now what should they achieve? So the whole this illusion of life starts staring at them. And then they start thinking, what is this? What am I doing? What have I done? Why is it so? Why everything in a chaos? Why is it happening? Then the seeking starts, and with that seeking, now you know what has happened, that you all have got your realization. Without the seeking, it would not have been now possible for me to talk to you at all about Sahaja Yoga. It is because you are seekers I can talk to you. And it has worked out. I am very happy that it has worked out in America. Another quality is a great quality of Sri Krishna is that he is a Gochara, means his element is firmament, what we call Akash, and he penetrates into everything. He penetrates into everything. He penetrates into the what do you call that? Anu, Renu, Paramanu. 3 things, atoms. Into little atoms it goes, and it shakes them. Now if you ask any scientist, he'll tell you that there is a isometric, symmetric vibrations even in the atoms. Now how can this energy be existing there? Because he can penetrate into anything. And because of this, is so penetrating that he encompasses everything. Into matter, into animals, into human beings, into realized souls. He penetrates. In the matter, it is just a vibrations. In the animals, it is just a guiding force. It's tremendous guiding force. Like birds from Siberia flying down to Australia. Who gives them the sense of direction? We never think about it. There are so many things animals are doing. They have such a sense of understanding. Like a tiger in the forest. All the animals know that there is tiger in the forest. They are all quiet, respecting their king. He kills, say, one cow or could be some animal. They just respect him. The thing what he has killed is left. For one day, nobody touches it. See the protocol. Now when he comes back next day, he eats to his own satisfaction. Then the tigress, then the children, they eat. Once they have finished with it, then one by one, in the order of protocol, all the animals eat that animal. The last of all are crows, which are perhaps vegetarians, I should say. But the protocol is maintained. If a lion is sitting, you can make it out, there won't be even a little sound anywhere. So it guides the animals, and the animals keep their character. They are not like human beings. For example, a snake is a snake and a tiger is a tiger. But human beings can be snake, tiger, leopard, anything together. They might be dogs, they might be small little worms, they could be anything. Combinations of so many things. Because they have passed through these yonis, as they call them, the species. So all these kind of permutations, combinations inside of the past is existing. And if somebody can take you to your subconscious, I have seen this, people start barking like a dog, and sometimes they behave like tigers. It can happen. All this is within us, the past, with all these complicated personality. Some are like owls, always very serious, hawk-like. Some are like chirping birds. But there are so many combinations they have in them that it is very difficult, to make them little straightforward. They are so much entangled. First to remove all the entanglement and then to raise the Kundalini. The best part of the organization is, which is made, that consciousness is vertically placed. Subconscious and supraconscious sort. Supraconscious right hand side of yours and the subconscious left hand side of yours. And in the central, the path is left. This is the Sushumna path. It is the Mahalakshmi's path. It is the path which leads you to the state of Virat, to the state of your brain. So now the combination of three things work out. The brain is the Virat, heart is Shiva, and the liver is Sadashiva, is Brahmadeva. All these three powers are there. But at the time when you are realized, then your brain surrenders to Shiva, to the principle of Shiva, that is the spirit. Brain is surrendered. Surrender not by force or anything, but to absorb the power of the spirit. The brain gets surrendered completely to the spirit, so that the spirit enlightens the brain. It is the enlightenment of the brain that gives you all this subtle understanding. It is to make your brain understand there are so many blissful happenings. People are blessed once, twice, thrice, then they are surprised. The brain starts thinking, how did I get this blessing? How did it happen to me? How could I get my transformation? So slowly, they start trusting their heart, means they start trusting their spirit, they start trusting their devotion. And this is how the bhakti is absolutely done without any desire, without any asking, without any obligation, just in oneness. Because the brain joins hands with the heart, we can say. Now also the Brahmadeva becomes surrendered. As a result, what happens that your liver is surrendered to your brain. When this happens, when your liver is surrendered to your brain, whatever you do is all enlightened work. Whatever you do. Whether you sing, whether you are a government servant, whether anything. Whatever you do with your brain, anything, through the Swadhisthana or through the Brahmadeva, it is an enlightened work. As it is the brain which is enlightened, which is connected with this all-pervading power, whatever you are doing, whatever your ideas are, being absolutely enlightened means that you achieve them. Enlightened brain, whatever it thinks, it is thinking as well as achieving, both together. It's a thing to be understood that an enlightened person has the power to achieve anything. But at the same time, his desires would be divine. Like the other day, we had very few people say in Saritos. So all the Sahajogis were extremely unhappy. As if somebody has died in their family, even worse than that. Why? Because this was their own work, which they could not understand why this enlightened mind of theirs could not produce the result, achieve the results. And they felt extremely unhappy. This shows what identification there is for the spiritual work or divine work and their own lives. To them, this is the most important thing. I mean, everybody is not like that, of course. For some people, something else is more important. They may use Sahaja Yoga for their own well-being or anything. But those who just think of Sahaja Yoga, that's again the brain which is enlightened. They achieve it. But it should not have any selfish motive behind it. It should not have any hatred behind it or anything. Or for some sort of a publicity or something. But if it is just the thinking about the Sahaja Yoga work, it will be achieved. One should never feel frustrated. That's what is said, that God is with you. He is your shepherd. And this is what happens when you become a surrendered lamb under the guide of this shepherd. Then, as a result of this brain becoming enlightened, you start having faith in yourself. Nirvikalpa, you become doubtlessly aware. As soon as you become, the brain becomes doubtless. Is the brain that thinks, is the brain that doubts, the brain that creates all conditioning, is the brain that creates ego. One instrument doing all this nonsense. Hatred it will create. It will justify nonsense. It will criticize others. It will hate others. It will make fun of others. That is not the quality of Shri Krishna, because he is the collective. That's why he never said you are a sinner or anything like that. He didn't criticize anyone. After all, I have to criticize. He did not. Now, if there was Kansa, all right, kill him, finished. Jarasandha, kill him. Any Rakshasa, Narkasura, kill him. Finish, no argument, nothing. I have no time for this now, so finish him. Straightforward. What is the use of criticizing anyone? Just kill them. That was his straightforward. But by killing them, they again come back in this Kali Yuga. So the best thing is to detach people from him, from these Rakshasas where they are lost. That's the best way. Now, one way could be that I put it in your brains that you see, this is the Rakshas. But they won't believe. They won't. So what happens when you go to them, you get all the kinks in your head. You start getting pins and needles on your fingertips. This is all the activity of brain, that it acts on your nerves. And you can feel it. You start shaking. The other day somebody came and sat before me, he was just doing like this. I said, what is this, stop it. So I can't, he was going on. I was not doing anything to him, it's the brain. In my presence, the brain acts. Because as I told you, he penetrates into anything. If I put my glance at somebody, the other day there was a boy, very naughty, beats people, he bites them, this thing like this, very crazy. As soon as he saw me, he ran away. He attacks every person, but he ran away. Then you have seen people who are possessed, what happens to them then? Just like this, they come to me, they shake. Sometimes I'm only worried that they should not faint in my presence in the program, otherwise it's a headache. So who acts in them? Who acts on these people who are possessed? Who makes all this gesture? Is the brain. In the brain they have got these problems and Shri Krishna makes them shake. It's the tremors that they feel, the pins and needles that they feel, the heat that they feel. All this is central nervous system, run by brain. So after enlightenment, what happens that the brain is at peace, absolutely at peace with itself. It doesn't react as it used to react. Like I've seen people here so speedy, so nervous, so upset, all the time, so jittery, irritable. I was reading the life of Mao, I was surprised. His physician, personal physician, I said he was absolutely like a tyrant. And he used to keep up the faces very well. But according to this doctor, he was a cruelest man he had known. This is Mao, who obviously looked to be a very great reformer. He did so much for that country, this thing. But no, he was a hypocrite. How will you know somebody is a hypocrite or not? With your brain, only if you are enlightened. So if Shri Krishna penetrates into your brain, then you become an enlightened person, sthita pragya, and you become knowledgeable. You know everything. Whatever is necessary. You may not know who is number one Wimbledon, maybe. You may not know who is the actress, what is her life, you may not. You may not know who is the president of such and such place, maybe. But you will know whatever is necessary for you to know. Otherwise people waste their energies. I know of somebody who knew the numbers, telephone numbers and the car numbers of 2,000 people. What is the need? Something like that. All these stupid things is a waste of mental energy. But a Sthita Pragya does not. He is concentrated onto his own knowledge, onto the divine understanding. He works really like a computer, and such an efficient computer. Today I just started talking about Kabira. Immediately they said, Mother, vibrations. Taking the name of Kabira, you get vibrations. But to a normal person, nothing Kabira is nothing another romantic fellow. If they don't want to understand something, they can say anything. But only the people who are enlightened, their nervous system is so charged that they can feel what is wrong, what is right, they can feel the divinity, they can make out who are incarnations and who were not. You don't know what has happened to your nervous system, a new dimension has come. Absolutely a new dimension in your nervous system has come, which is manifesting. And this is also the blessings of Sri Krishna, because he is collectiveness within us. In the form of collectivity, he works. Unless and until this America I put right, Shri Krishna is not going to leave my throat, I tell you. So, as America, I say, is the place of Sri Krishna's auspiciousness. So one has to understand what is Sri Krishna's auspiciousness. They said he had 16,000 wives. These were his powers, 16,000 powers he has. And to work out his incarnation, he wanted them. So they came on this earth as princesses and was married by a horrible king who married them and kept them in the jail. So he fought that king and got them out of them, and he married them. It's the best part of it. He married them. Because, you see, with a man, whatever may be his age, if he has 16,000 women around him, people will never understand that he is Yogeshwara. Men have this problem, not the women so much. Because women become mothers. See, I am a mother. Nobody can challenge my character. Because I am a mother. But the fatherhood can be challenged. So he married them. Then this essence of the 5 elements he married as 5 wives. But his real sense of morality is seen in the case of Draupadi. You know the story of Mahabharata. When she was brought in the court, Duryodhana asked Dushasana to take out her saris. At that time, Tulsidasa has written what happened. She was holding her sari by her teeth. She called Krishna, she could only say Kri. Krishna means it falls down. She was holding on with only Kri, and she wouldn't say Shna. But as soon as she says Krishna, the sari fell down. Then he describes Dwarika me shora bhayo bhari, shankha chakra gada padma garuda laisidhari. What did he do? When she just said Krishna, there was a big sound in Dwarika. He was in Dwarika. Immediately, with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, these are his four weapons, he came on the Garuda. The way it is said is tremendous. I mean, I feel really it fulfills your heart with such understanding of Shri Krishna. For his own sister, he came all the way to save her chastity. To him, the chastity of his sister was of the greatest importance. He could have said, no, I am a king, I have to look after this, I have to do that, I have to nothing. If her chastity is in danger, he came flying on the Garuda and supplied that. And this fellow got tired pulling out her saris. I think he must have borrowed saris from me because I have too many saris. One after another. He made a pile of saris, he got tired. He could not make her nude. The chastity of Draupadi was of such a height. And how Sri Krishna tried to save it is remarkable. So this Yogeshwara Sri Krishna is also a Dhanvantari, means the doctor of doctors. He's the one who cures. You see, because it's all the brain, na? And the vibrations which flow on the nervous system. So he cures people through his brain. Now how? Say now, supposing somebody is having a problem, say, on his heart. So as soon as he puts hands to my photograph, so immediately he gets problem on his left finger here. The brain is working. So in your brain, my vibrations go of Sri Krishna. And they start sending these messages. Because I am also Sri Krishna. So this computer acts and immediately you know what's wrong with that person he's a heart patient. Don't have to do any diagnosis, don't have to do anything. Immediately you know. And who does this is the principle of Sri Krishna in the brain of the Virat. See this? Also working for some people, I think. Now you are convinced about it, you know that it works, it acts like this, it happens like that. And how it communicates through you. So this computer of mine communicates. Now in a computer if you go, you can just press the button, of course it's all man-made, but whatever it is, you then get the result. Here it is not like that. It is the brain automatically gives the result immediately through the other person. And also the same brain tells you what is to be done to such and such person, how to work it out. The same brain is emitting vibrations. And those vibrations are flowing through this brain And they are the ones who tell you what's wrong with this person. So all this work of penetration is done by Shri Krishna, no doubt. He takes these vibrations, puts into another brain, and then that brain, that central nervous system start working, and then you get the result. But instantaneously. It's not so much time it takes, the way I have described it. It just works immediately. As soon as they put the hand before me, immediately. So how important it is for us to look after our brain for Sahaja. I don't know in this America how far this brain is safe. Because you open any television, you look outside on the street, look out for some advertisements, then you hear this music, it breaks your brain completely. Whole atmosphere is anti-Shri Krishna. No purity of understanding. No sense of morality. The way they make pictures, things, horrible violence, horrible, immoral scenes, all sorts of things. All created here in the land of Shri Krishna. The one who, through his waves, can completely purify because he is Yogeshwara. Because he is detached, absolutely detached. He cannot get attached to anything. Only the brain makes you attached. Na? Now see, supposing this carpet is here. This sari is here. I look at the sari, what a nice sari is this one now. Now if it is mine, I am worried it should not get spoiled. Or where will it be kept? What will happen to it? Goes on worrying about things. His any road you walk, there are shops. Now your attention goes there. And in that attention, this brain gets involved completely. It gets involved, it wants this and wants that and wants that and wants that. For what? So the detachment from the matter is only possible if you know generosity. But many people are in Sahaja Yoga, but they are not. What is generosity now? Generosity is now, if you like my sari, you'll have it. That's the real generosity. Whatever I am buying is for you, supposing. So you have it. If you have a generous, detached temperament, then you can never get involved with matter. And whatever you are involved, it is love. Say I went to Russia, and there was nice fish eggs they call as kaviye. There is one doctor who likes it very much in London. I said, please let me have some. They said, why do you want to take this one? I want to. So I thought of the doctor who needed it there, who likes it very much, and I felt very happy about it. And the doctor also was very happy. Mother, you remembered even such small thing like this one. So the matter have a sense of giving very great joy to another person. if you do it with love, again I said do it with love, not with attachment, but with love which is detached. He's the one who is detached. So, what is the love that is detached? I have told many a times, like a sap in the tree rises, goes to every part of the tree and is not attached to any part. And if it gets attached, then the tree will die and that fruit, whatever it is, will die also. So what is it of detached love is? Detached love is the most beautiful thing. Firstly, by detached love, you know what to give to whom, what will make people happy, what will make them joyous, what do they like. In love only you know all these things. What do they like, what is their color, style, what they want, little things. As I told you yesterday, the story of Shri Rama. Whatever is done with love, even a little thing that you know you would like, I would like to purchase. May look stupid, but I know you like it, so I'll buy that. In the same way, you also do that. All the time, you think, mother, what will she like? So they will get little things here and there. But this detachment has to be full and complete. Then only you really get people attached to you, otherwise you cannot. If you are not detached, you cannot get that complete love for another person. Because if you are doing something, say for money, or if you are doing something for lust, or for greed, or for some sort of a position, it has no meaning. People know, oh, I know why he is doing it, because I am such and such. In Sahaja Yoga also many people come, either to make money, either to get cured, or all kinds of things. But if you are detached, then only Sahaja Yoga will spread. As long as there are attachments, you should know you are not yet a Sahaja Yoga. I am not saying you should take out your eye or cut your hands. I didn't say that to that extent. But what I am saying, you should introspect and see how much am I attached to this or to that, and why am I so much attached? What does it matter? Always as a result of attachment, you'll always find disappointments. I've seen parents who have doted on their child, loved their child, this and that. Children mostly go astray. But if you have a detached love for your child, you do nice things for the child. At the same time, you know what to say no where it's not good. This I don't like, I don't do it. You must say that. But detachment is even wider than that. Like some people are very fond of food. So, to say that you be detached from food is very difficult for them. Especially at a certain age, I think they are very fond of good food and all that. Gandhiji has talked about aswad, should not have any taste. But as you grow in Sahaja Yoga, you will find automatically it will happen. All your fussy nature about food will drop. That is another sign that you are absolutely detached about food. Now today I ate my lunch, I don't know whether it is dinner or lunch, because I had it about 5 o'clock. So I don't know which part of it is. And if I had not eaten also makes no difference to me. It doesn't make me weak or in any way unhappy. But thinking about food is just spoiling your brain. Many people just think about food. We went to their house, oh, they had made such nice thing. We went to this house, they had made such nice thing. What's the use? You already have eaten, finished, now done. Now why are you thinking about that? Or I went to somebody's house, they had given me a horrible food. Why to think of food, I still don't understand. Whatever has happened has happened. By thinking, you cannot get back what you have been eating or what you are going to eat. It's there, whatever is there you have to eat, you see. What can you do? For example, today they asked me, Mother, will you have hot dog? In Hindi language it means real hot dogs, means garam kutte they call them. I said, all right, I'll have it. They said, all the Americans eat. All right, I am an American, give me. But when you know something will not do good to your teeth or something, you should not eat. For example, the beef is very bad for the teeth, very bad. That's why you people lose your teeth very fast. Many people ask me in the interview, are your denture your own? I said, of course, mine. They can't believe it's mine. Because I know what not to eat for the teeth's sake. But one should not be attached to an idea. That's even subtler attachments. That has really killed this world with so many problems of fanaticism, racialism, I don't know what. Now here, see the contradictions people have. They go to the sea to get darker, and they have racialism. Then why do you go to the sea? See, if you want to become darker, then why do you hate the people who are dark? Such a contradiction because the brain is not in balance. And for that, you have racialism. You become racist. If not that, you have another conditioning that there are different castes, and according to the caste you should go in India. How can there be any caste when everybody has the spirit in their heart? They won't eat from another lower caste, their higher caste, this, that. This brain is the one which creates all kinds of conditionings. And all those great saints who have lived on this earth, whether they were in India or abroad or anywhere, all of them have stood against this nonsense of discrimination. That comes from brain, Ask them, why do you think like that you are higher than others? Like the Germans think they are the highest race. Now who will believe that good story? I don't know. It's absolutely nonsensical story. Germans, the ones who have killed children in the gas chamber and enjoyed that, they must be the lowest race ever going. But they think they are the highest race. How can they be? Tomorrow Rwanda people will say we are the highest race because we can kill each other nicely in the open. So to think yourself to be higher than others, to think that you are more beautiful than others, others are ugly. All this is the brain which takes you to ego, and the ego is the one who befools you completely all the time. That's the job of Shri Krishna. So you must have heard about Narada, who never wanted to see, he thought he was a great man because he never attracted to a woman, and he was challenging even Shiva. Then Shri Krishna played a trick on him. He always plays tricks. He sent two Gandharvas to tease him. They went down and they asked Narada, they said, "You are such a beautiful man, such a handsome person. There is a marriage going on of a lady, Rupavati. She is very beautiful, she is a princess, and why don't you go there? She'll definitely marry." And they pampered his ego, such a lot. He started floating in the air. And he said, "All right, I'm going to go there. I'm so handsome." Ego. He went there. And this princess came out with a garland. She looked at him and she giggled first and then she laughed aloud. And then she went away. He couldn't understand, looked at these two persons. They said, "It's all right now, doesn't matter. Maybe somebody is better looking than you." So Narada was very angry and went to the lake. When he looked into the lake, his face was like a monkey. He's become a monkey because this ego makes you a monkey. And you start thinking, you are great, you are very beautiful, you are this thing, that thing. But you are not. Because if you are, you won't think. Whatever you are, you don't think about it. You don't think, "I'm a human being." Do you say that? Or do you say, "I have no tails"? Do you boast of that? Whatever you are not, then you boast. "I'm very beautiful, I'm very good looking, others are ugly," this thing. Then Shri Krishna plays a part through the Maya. And he gives a big lesson to that person. It happens. So never think that you are something great or you have achieved this in life and achieved that in life and that you are something, a big Johnny. It's nothing but the ego that has moved on here and giving you these ideas from the ego. And if you go even further with it, then Hitler may enter into your ego and you might behave like him. Or if you are conditioned, impossible to tell you anything. Like this Hare Rama fellow, I told him, "Why do you wear dhoti in this cold weather?" He said, "My guru has told me to wear dhoti." What sort of a guru is it? That he makes you feel cold? I mean, I am a mother, I don't like all this nonsense. He said, "No, but my guru has said it." What a conditioning. And conditioning for something which is absolutely absurd and ridiculous. Now see, Americans are most vulnerable to such a thing. You start any nonsense, immediately the Americans are the first to jump to it. Immediately. Drugs you start some sort of a, I can say, fancy dress. It will start in Paris, but will be sold in America. Immediately they are on the lookout. Something new. It might be a monkey trick, but they will do it. So I don't know why Americans who are the residents of Shri Krishna's land have no discretion at all what to accept, what not to accept. They are the worst. They are worse than children even. There's no maturity of any kind. What's wrong? So the discretion, which is the center we have here of Hamsa, which is ruled by Vishuddhi, is completely sometimes blocked. Like one lady who came to America told me very boastfully, "Have you been to the pubs in England?" I said, "No." "Why?" "Oh my God, what pubs you have here." No, I went to the best. I said, "Which one?" "It's known as Hermit's pub." What is so special? Very high class lady, huh? Very high class. She says, "You see, one man died. For 1 month nobody lifted the body. The whole thing was filled with the stink. So the stink is preserved and even the cobwebs are preserved as they are. Such a great thing was this in where I went, and really I felt so spiritual there. Can you believe that? Then she started boasting, you see, we are free people. I allow my children to drink. I give them drinks. I said, really? Yeah, I can give him any alcohol, anyone. I do not say not this, not that. No, they can have. The children were hardly 12 and 14 years of age. I said, all right. If you have been doing that, what can I say? You are a great lady. I would not do to my children or to my grandchildren, but you are great. Namaskar. After 3-4 months, we heard that there was a birthday party of the younger boy, and she had given all these alcohols to them for the friends. God knows what happened. They had candles and this and that. The whole house got burned, and all the children, her sons, and these two sleeping upstairs, all got burnt and died. Boasting about nonsense. Like I have had 500 men with me. Another will say, I have so many women. I mean, you are stupid fools. Because you are organizing nice way to go to hell. And you are all going to go to hell. This is what it is to be told to them. If you go on like this, what will happen to you? Accumulating everything that will destroy them. Doing everything that will destroy. Oh, that's good. I said, why? You know, if you take that, then in 2 minutes you go off. I said, to where? To hell or where? Anything that is destructive, I don't know why the Americans should accept it when they have Shri Krishna as their Lord. It is to be understood by Saj Yogis also, that you have to really transform yourself to such an extent that whatever is destructive should be given up. First of all, I find some men and ladies with such long faces. How can you be? You are living in the country of Leeladhar. He's the one who made everybody dance. And he's the one who's paid Rasa, Ra is energy and Sa means with. Radha. Ra is energy, the one who sustains energy. The one who did the mental energy, enlighten and to sustain it. How can you people take to adharma, to immorality and to destruction? I just can't understand. I don't know what his plans are very well. But he has to really save people of America from all kinds of nonsense they do morning till evening. There's nobody who is sensible in the politics, nobody who has a good character at a very high positions. What sort of things? You cannot get one man whom you can say he is all right and he will do good to our nation. Criticizing others, they are very good. Like we had this plague, it's nothing much. This little bit came out. They have published it all over this media. They have stopped all our ships, stopped all our aeroplanes, made such a fuss, put us into so much trouble. But what about your aids, which you have given prasad everywhere? It's very surprising that with your brain enlightened by Shri Krishna, how could people accept, even mentally, person like Freud? How could you accept Freud? I just can't understand. And now you are all ruined, so now we are worried. We don't know what to do. Now they are breaking families. And all the logical conclusions they reach is just the opposite of Shri Krishna. Like the Simpson killed his wife. All right, killed, finished the Simpson business. Now they are coming out big theories. See now why psychologically he killed, because he was married to her. When you marry only, you kill your wife or your husband. So you should not marry. What a conclusion. Tomorrow they will say that people are killing each other, so allow them to have weapons in their hand. Now they want to allow them to have some drugs also. Allow them to have homosexuality. Allow them to have all this. Because I think these people in charge of affairs do not want anybody to live. Think that let them fight among themselves, do what they like. We should have our own seats. The way they are not worried about the immorality and all the destructive forces that are acting on American children, American youth, and American people. Not bothered about people. So, tonight we are praising Shri Krishna, who is Yogeshwara. He eats but he does not eat. He sleeps but he does not sleep. He has wives but he has no wife. Like this is the Yogeshwara. And that is what, you are yogis and he is your Ishvara, so you have to try to be like him. Let your brain be enlightened by his blessings and you become that great personality that encompasses everything, that sees everything, that gives you discretion, that makes you understand what's wrong. And you feel enthusiastic about changing this America with all your effort, with all their mind, because that's the most important thing you have to do. As it is, he is a Kubera, he's the Lord of wealth, and he has given you such a lot of wealth all around. You see, just very near New York, you should have such beautiful places. In every way, you are blessed. You have money, you have everything, you have brains, everything is there. What is lacking is wisdom. With everything with you, supposing you have a car, you have everything, car, you have got keys, you have got engine, you have got brake, everything, but you don't know how to drive. So what will happen? This is what it is. So as Sahajogis from America, you have a very, very, very special responsibility. Very special responsibility. Today we'll be saying his 108 names, which are well done, have come from Pune all the way. So that we'll have it first, and then a little puja of the Devi. May God bless you.